Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Breath of Adventure. Today we are talking what is the best versatile beginner adventure bike. The DR650 hits the top of my list, so stay to the end to find out if this is the best beginner bike for you. Right from the beginning, one of the main reasons why I believe the DR650 is one of the best beginner adventure bikes is just purely due to its reliability. These things are tanks. They go forever. This one has about 67,000 kilometers on it and has made it to South America and back. These bikes have been refined over the years, and it's the exact same engine, the exact same suspension, all the way through the majority of the years. That being said, it's like when it comes to an adventure bike, number one is reliability for me. As you've seen on my channel, I've broken down in the forest once, and it's gonna happen. No matter what, it's gonna happen. But when it comes to how frequently that happens, when it comes to the preventative maintenance that we can do ourselves on the simplicity of these bikes and the setup to avoid those failures in the woods, you need reliability, simplicity, and an easier range of aftermarket and new parts. We can't be waiting around forever. Reliability and durability. This thing is a tank. They call them the bush pig for a reason. It's like a tractor in the woods. It can just chug along. I ride this bike on road, off road. I make trails. I bushwhack with it once in a while, single track it, and it just chugs along. Obviously, you have to make some adjustments to your gearing depending on what kind of environment or terrain you're riding in. But overall, you look through the forums, you Google search, DR650 is like one of the best bikes for around the world. Like if we're gonna take our bike and go to multiple continents all the way around the world, all of those factors of the reliability, the parts, and the durability need to exist in each country. This bike hits the top of the list for me in regards to why it makes a great beginner-friendly bike. The reliability and the durability and the simplicity of doing your own maintenance and repairs. When it comes to doing your own maintenance and repairs, and we think about if we do break down on the trail or we are in the woods, but we have toolkits and spare parts and the knowledge to repair it, there's a very high chance that we can repair this machine with what we have on board and continue on the adventure. Next on the list is engine displacement, the power of the engine, the CC of the bike, how easy or difficult it is to control that power or those power bands, and how easy it is for us to direct it into the ground. So when we talk about the 650, this engine is amazing for multiple reasons and multiple environments and multiple applications. So the 650 on the highway has enough speed and top end to cruise at a reasonable fair pace. Now, I'm not one to go high speeds on the highway. I have woods gearing. Most of the time I have a bunch of weighted gear on the back, but guys mod these out. They have the Supermoto tires. These things can just pull away from sport bikes in twisties all day. So it's got the engine on the highway. And then, as I was saying previously, being a tractor in the woods, it's got that low-end torque that'll allow you to putt, enjoy your time off-road, on the trail, taking it easy peasy. It's got the low end. In my opinion, it's a very consistent mellow power band. It's kind of consistent from top to bottom. Whereas you're riding a two-stroke, you've got a top-end power band. That's where you've got most of your performance, and it's a lot more finicky, tweaky, aggressive riding style. Whereas this, again, it's the bush pig, the tractor, the 650 chugs along, and it scoots along on the highway. So that makes it a very good beginner bike for adventure riding because you are going from highway, off-road, trail, woods. That engine is a very great mediocre space for adventure riding. When it comes to, the versatility of the bike in regards to the weight, stock weight's around 370 pounds. My bike's probably running around 420 with everything and a fuel, and it's up there, all the metal hardware. It's a bit heavy, but in general, 370 pounds for a bike you can ride on the freeway at 120 kilometers an hour, and you can ride at 10 kilometers in the woods, is finding that sweet zone, right? So with this weight, you're not getting blown around on the highway like crazy when you're cruising at speeds. You still feel it. And then again, when you're off-road, it's still not super like adventure bike heavy, like into the BMW 12, the 1250s and the 1200s or whatever they are. they're like 500 pounds. You still have that manageable weight off-road. So the bike is versatile enough to be maneuvering and keep self-centered and to keep straight upward and to weaving at slow pace through the woods. And then it's also very manageable at high speeds on the highway. The beautiful thing about this bike, because it's been around for so long, there's so many parts and aftermarket accessories available, such as lowering links. So these are very easy to lower. You can get smaller diameter wheels to drop the bike at the front end. You can change the springs. You can do lower seats. There's so many mods you can do to shorten the stance on it so that a more range of people can ride the bike. One of the other big factors of why it makes the best beginner adventure bike is because of the cost. There's thousands and thousands of these available, and they've all been the same since 1992 or 93, somebody will correct me, but all the way till present. So there's a lot of these floating around for sale, and there's a lot of these floating around that are already modified. There's a lot of these floating around that have been like putted through the woods by some 65-year-old tired guy who hasn't beaten the crap out of them. And because there's so many of them on the market, you know, it brings the value down. You're still spending a few $1,000s on a 10-year-old bike, but you are getting that reliability, versatility, as I'd mentioned previously. You're able to enter into the realm of adventure riding at a lower price point. Bikes aren't as highly valued as some of the other adventure bikes. These bikes in Ontario, Canada, they range from $2,000 to $4,500 used. For a 2010 or a 13 or 15, it depends. To buy it brand new, you're like $7,000. So for $7,000, you can get a very good built machine that you can then modify. Coming back to why it's beginner friendly is that it's at a lower price point to step into the game with a bike that's already modified, or to buy a bike and then add the modifications yourself because there's such a surplus of them floating around. So price point, that's one of the reasons why I think the DR650 makes one of the best beginner adventure bikes. I want to add fun onto the list of how fun it is to ride this bike. Because of all the things that I've mentioned and all these pros of why it makes a great beginner bike, it makes it a fun bike to ride. And why I say that is because of the versatility of riding on the freeway and the highway to get to the county roads, to get to the trailhead, to ride some trails, through the crowned land, muck around in the woods, reverse it all the way back home. It's a blast, it's fun. It's manageable in its weight in regards to that if you do drop it over by yourself, with practice and some strength, you can lift these up. You get into 500 pounds plus, it's like, it's not as much fun. If the bike goes down, it's a big deal getting it up. It's just so important to have a bike that is very fun and versatile so that we are riding it consistently. We're riding it to the store, to our friend's house, or to work. Then we're taking it on adventure on the weekends, right? For us Ontarians with winter, we have like a 7-month, 6-month window, and we got to capitalize on it. So we might as well be able to have fun and use the bike any day of the week. So if you're getting into adventure riding and you want something that's easy to learn on, cost efficient, easy to get aftermarket parts for, lots of online help available, the DR650 could be the bike for you. So if you enjoyed this, make sure you like, comment, let me know your experience, where you at, do you have one, you gonna buy one, do you have any questions? If you haven't yet, subscribe, join the adventure, and we'll see you on the next one.